Hey everybody, Densko here. New at Densko Music Labs is this Tom Anderson Classic T 40th anniversary with Level 2 Distressing. Let's dive into this axe, shall we? Welcome to the channel, and if you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back. Timestamps are going to be noted below. If you want to skip ahead to certain parts like the specs or the sounds instead of listening to me babble, check that out below. So have you ever found a guitar that just grabs you? Kind of like an online crush? Like you just can't stop thinking about it. You just want to reach through that computer screen or iPad screen and just play it. Your brain and rationality kicks in and it pulls you in different ways, like should I buy it? Should I just walk away? And that's kind of this guitar right here. It took a lot of pining and a lot of maneuvering to pick it up. Now, this is a Tom Anderson, and I've owned 4 of them before, and hopefully you're familiar with Tom Anderson as a brand, but they've got a great reputation. Currently, this is the second Tom Anderson I have in my arsenal, and as it so happens, my very first ever video on YouTube features my Raven Superbird. It's a very cringy video. I can't even watch it. But yeah, I've had a few Tom Andersons before, and I eyeballed this one, and based on my experience, they're great guitars, and they're expensive for sure, bud. Now, that being said, I'm not affiliated with Tom Anderson or any brand. I'm not sponsored. This is a completely independent channel. So I had to go get this guitar. Like, I saw it online, and it had to be mine. So buying guitars online can be a little sketchy and has its limitations and risks, right? I was like a rabid monkey on skates when I saw this guitar online, and I started clawing away at my resources and plans to trade this and sell that and move this, and I was just really hoping that the shop itself was cool and negotiable. I mean, I know what I'm buying when I'm buying a Tom Anderson guitar, but, what if I didn't like it? Was the shop negotiable? Are they far away? These are all things to consider when buying online. Well, if I didn't like it, can I return it? Where is this place? Am I traveling like miles and miles to, look at a guitar? So this is where things get awesome. It turns out the website that I was looking and finding this guitar on belongs to a store called the Vibrator Bar. The Vibrator Bar is actually just in my neck of the woods, practically in my backyard. So big shout out to Josh and Blaze, who have probably the coolest guitar shop I have ever been to. Like I said, I'm not sponsored or possessed by any spectral entity, but I do think we got to support local businesses, especially mom and pop type guitar stores, brick and mortar type things that, establishments that provide really great service and instruments that we as musicians really want and need. So I'm really particular about my guitars, and like I said, not being affiliated with the Vibrato Bar, but I want to shout out Blaze and Josh's shop there because it really is excellent. They have an amazing selection of LSLs and PRSs and obviously Tom Andersons. So yeah, shout out to those guys. Support your local business. If you want a really good guitar, check out the Vibrato Bar. They've got an amazing website and lots of pictures on there. We'll get into the specs next of this guitar and then the sounds. So looking at the specs on this guitar, we'll cover it from headstock to body here. Body being made of alder. It's a solid one-piece slab. Headstock has chrome tuners locking, and the back has a really cool embossed 40-year logo. Hopefully that shows up. This is a standard 25.5-inch Telecaster scale length. The neck and headstock are caramel maple with a satin type finish, which is really nice. It's got a 1 11/16 inch nut width. Heavy frets. I believe these are stainless steel, but I'm not 100% sure. It's got sort of an even taper, slim C type neck, kind of in the middle. And as all Tom Anderson guitars has, it employs the Buzz Feet and tuning system. As far as the hardware, it's all nickel. And as usual on Tom Anderson's, you get the 2 rear strap buttons. And I believe that's so that you can sit the guitar like this and it doesn't tip over. But I could be wrong. Now the pickups are a PH1 and HC2. This is sort of like a P90, and this is a humbucker. It's got a 5-way selector switch. And as usual, I use 10 to 46 gauge strings on my guitars. Comes with a really nice hard shell case with a lot of candy inside of it. I'm not breaking that out right now. As far as the relic job, the distressing, I'll try and get some close-ups of it and some B-roll so you can see it. Personally, I think it's very tastefully done. I know relics aren't everybody's cup of tea and not necessarily mine either. Oh, I should mention one thing that's a little different here is this bridge has 6 saddles and string-through construction. And I like that the output jack is kind of an outie rather than an innie like other Telecasters tend to be. Anyway, let's get into some sounds. We'll start with going over my signal chain first. Let's just take a quick look at my signal chain that I'll use for this demo. Coming out of the guitar, I'm going into this here pedal board. So I'll be using a couple different effects from there, mostly drive. From there, we'll be heading over into my Marshall Blues Breaker, JTM 45, 1997 reissue. And I'll show you my settings real quick. You'll notice I'm using the low gain input 1 as the pickups on this guitar are rather toasty. From there, my signal chain goes into the Universal Audio aux box, into my interface, and then into Logic Pro. So what do me and my fancy pajama pants think about this here guitar? Well, I generally have just good things to say about it. I really love it. I really love the neck, the way it plays, the way it sounds. These pickups are hot. Positions 2 and 4 tend to be more Tele-like, but positions 1, 3, and 5 are just bangers. Now, as I mentioned, this is a Tom Anderson guitar, so, if you know anything about Tom Anderson and their reputation, they just make killer stuff, so quality-wise, you just can't go wrong. And I would hope so for the price. If there is one funky thing that I kind of don't like about this guitar is that with the 5-way selector, there are actually some dead spots in it. I'll show you. Right now I'm on position 1. Now I'm on position 2. But I can get it into position 1.5 and the guitar is dead. Same thing happens with any of the positions. So it's not the end of the world, but in the heat of the battle, if my guitar goes dead, I know exactly what happened. So I'd like to hear your thoughts about what you think about this guitar, or if you like Tom Anderson's, or if you think they're too bougie, or ugly, or gorgeous, or whatever, Let me know what you think. Once again, big shout out to the Vibrator Bar. Josh and Blaze, thanks again, dudes. Shout out. I'll leave you guys with some playing and some sounds and noodling and just some B-roll of this guitar. Yeah. Oh, hi everybody. Please like and subscribe to Denskill Music for more awesome content. Check out my original tunes too. Oh.